All right. Can y'all hear me right now? How's it going, everyone? I hope y'all are excited for this Next.js stream as much as I am right now. Can I get some twos in chat if y'all can hear me? Any twos in chat? Nice, awesome. Okay, so yeah, so as y'all might know, we're gonna be doing a Next.js workshop today. It's gonna be the first part out of two of them. So if y'all wanna join me back tomorrow. Today, we're basically gonna be going over how to build yourself a portfolio using Next.js. So for anyone who doesn't know what Next.js is, it's this awesome React framework that is developed by a company called Vercel. It is really, really cool. One of my favorite frameworks of all time. And it just makes, in my opinion, coding React a lot more fun. So if you are new to web dev, don't be too scared. Next.js is kind of scary. Same thing with React if you haven't been exposed to it, but it should be a-okay. Just try to catch as much as you can. You might not get it the first time, but that's okay. Just try to absorb as much as you can. But yeah, if you watched a video on React.js, you should be good enough. That should be enough knowledge to hopefully get through this. But it might be a little bit, might be a lot. So if I'm going too fast or if I'm going too in depth, let me know and I can cut back on it. Sorry if I'm also talking a bit fast today. I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. All right, so before we begin, does anybody have any questions? Yes, I agree. Is it Shemery? Yeah, we'll be deploying it using Defang. Is it necessary to know React beforehand? I will say yes, but you can still learn a lot without knowing React. The idea is just getting exposed to how Next.js styles, like their semantics and coding patterns. Once you get exposed to that, it should make learning React a lot easier. Why Next and not React itself? So Next is the React framework. It makes React a lot more robust. For those that are experienced with React, React is very interesting. It has a lot of evolution to it. And because of that, there are a lot of different patterns and techniques that you can employ, but a lot of them are legacy and dated. So Next.js makes it very formulated and gives you a straightforward way to develop React websites. Are you going to use JavaScript or TypeScript? So we're going to be using TypeScript for this lesson. To make it a bit easier, I'm just used to the syntax sometimes, and I love getting the errors. I will be trying to use some any's just in case people are kind of confused about TypeScript. So I won't go too hard into it, but sometimes I like the type defs. Will this stream be recorded? I'm not entirely sure. You might be able to find it on YouTube. I think YouTube records all of the sessions, but Twitch doesn't. So you can feel free to find it there. Also, as a note, I will not be releasing the code to this workshop as I want all of y'all to follow along. And I feel like if I release the code, everyone's going to just start dropping out. So to make sure everyone's engaged, if you want the code and you want to use it to submit it to this Global Hack Week, of course, with your own edits and your own changes to it, then please stick along to this workshop as well as the one that's coming up tomorrow. All right. What extra Next provide that React doesn't? Anything specific? I just like the formulaic way that they have designed the framework. Like, I really love the app router. It makes designing like directories and paths and routes a lot more, I guess, robust. It's also a lot easier to conceptually visualize versus React, which is a lot more. It's a lot more less strict. It's a lot less strict, and you have to abide to so many semantic decisions that everyone has to follow to get to the same place versus Next that it is defined by default. Are you going to stick to functional components? Yes, I will be sticking to functional components. Is it even possible to do class components in Next? If it is, I think that'd be kind of fun, but we'll be sticking to functional components. Hey, will you help in the coding part, as I am very much beginner in TypeScript and React? Yeah, so I'll be going along and trying to describe the different decisions and the ways things work. I'll try to describe it in a granular enough detail to where everyone can pick it up regardless of if you have a background in React or Next or not. So hopefully that should be okay. If you need more background or you need me to explain something further in depth, let me know and I will try to touch on it as much as I can. What do we need to follow? So I'm going to be coding along. So if you want to, or sorry, I'm going to be coding, and if you want to code along, you can feel free to put this on your side monitor or split your screen in half. I'll have that there, have your IDE on the other side, and I'll basically be walking you through how I would design a portfolio using Next.js. What do we need to set up to code along? That's actually a great question. The only thing that you need is an IDE. So if you haven't already, I would highly recommend downloading VS Code. If you have a Mac, I would really recommend downloading Zed. I love Zed. So yeah, definitely do that if you can. Will you talk about SSR? That is actually a really good point that I completely glossed over, because in this workshop specifically, we probably won't be getting too much into SSR as there is no dynamic things to display. But yes, SSR is one of the core components of Next.js with suspense boundary. So that's kind of what makes Next amazing, especially for SEO performance. It's so nice. And TurboPack, we'll be using that today before it releases in Next 15, yes, with React 19. Do you have any preference for Next auth providers? So if you're talking about the Next auth or auth.js package in specific, I guess the common ones, I really like using a combination of Google and GitHub, and there's one more that I'm forgetting, but Google and GitHub are really nice ones to have as your providers because everyone has them. Google's a little bit annoying because they have a limit on how many people can use it before you have to give them your terms of service and send them a recording and stuff like that. It's a little difficult, but besides Next.auth, you also have Auth0, which is a lot of fun, and then also new is Clerk. Is this going to be beginner friendly? Yes, this is going to be probably intermediate beginner friendly. So it's going to be like those more for those tailored to those who are a little bit more intermediate and have a little bit of background with JavaScript. So yeah, how can I learn Next.js fast? Okay, so this is going to be a really cool tool. If you Google Next.js Learn, Next.js recently came out with their Next.js Learn docs that also goes over the React fundamentals. So if you want to learn the React fundamentals, it has a guide there that you can learn it in pretty much less than a day. And then also they have a Next.js guide, which you can also finish in less than a day. If you really want to speed through it, you can honestly finish everything in like 4 to 5 hours. Will it be beginner friendly? I'll to the best of my ability, I will try to make it as beginner friendly as possible. Yes. Is Replit good as an IDE? I would recommend going with VS Code. Replit is a good IDE, but for projects like this, it's a lot easier to build in your own environment. So I would highly recommend downloading VS Code if you haven't already. It's also a good practice just to learn how to use IDEs. So if you haven't already, I would highly recommend downloading that right now. And then if someone knows about Next and he has to attend the session, I'm not, yes, I will also check YouTube live comments. But yeah, if, I'm not entirely sure what this question is asking, but if you know Next.js, please feel free to tune in and answer questions along the way. Any helping hand would be greatly appreciated. But if you have a friend that's also next to you, they can also help out. And then you don't know Next.js, can you follow? Yes, absolutely. This is designed for people with probably a beginner to intermediate knowledge about JavaScript at least. If you don't know, that's a-okay. Just follow along and we will cover as much as we can. All right, and then are we going to be using Tailwind CSS? Yes, we will. Tailwind is though there's a lot of debate on whether people should start off with CSS or Tailwind. We will be using Tailwind as it's a lot easier and it's a lot easier to code and also easier to read, in my opinion, versus semantic CSS, which takes some training to understand. And then ShadCN. Yes, we will be using ShadCN UI. Thank you for the question. I love ShadCN UI. We will be using that. Any packages we need to install before we start? We will be actually, we'll walk through the package installation process and I'll tell you what projects we need and don't need to install. And then I have only ever worked with React, Node, and Express. I have no idea what Next.js. That's perfect. If you've worked with React and Node, you should be more than ready. Also, the Express knowledge works a lot in your favor. If we went to the I think is it Next API, because they have it built in. Could you choose yourself for timers? Yes, I will. Give me like one moment and we'll get into that. Me too. I love Shed CN UI. It's good. It's going to be easy, not worry. Yes, I agree. Yeah, give me like one moment. I'm going to get my introduction slides popped up here and then we'll begin. Sorry if I've been yapping a little too much too. Okay, let me pull this up real quick. And one moment. Is there anything y'all are excited for regarding this workshop? I hope y'all are excited. Next.js is my favorite framework. Yapping's good. We approve. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is Next a full stack by itself? It depends. There's no backend technically. It's serverless, but it makes it to where if you use Cloud, you just need Cloud and Next.js, which is nice. I was kind of excited, kind of nervous now. No, don't worry. It's gonna be a-okay. We're gonna walk through it slowly. We're gonna make sure that everyone can understand as we go through it. So before we begin, I want to real quickly draw everyone's attention to this link right here. This is going to be the link that you can use to log your attendance for the swag, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to get the swag, feel free to go ahead and sign into this event. And yeah, releasing animations in this portfolio building session. We will if we can get the time to. If not, we'll probably have that as a stretch goal. How can we decide good projects to make? Where can we take inspiration? So one of the best places that you can go to draw inspiration from will probably be Dribbble. Dribbble and Figma's community are really, really nice when it comes to UI mocks. So those are my favorite places to derive inspiration from. All right, and let's go ahead and put up this intro slide. I think the software is glitching. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. Okay, so yeah, hi y'all. I'm Ryan. I am the third Ryan from MLH. So if y'all have heard a lot about Ryans, I am probably 30% of that. There's Ryan number 1, which you saw yesterday during the opening ceremony. He is the OG Ryan, and then you have Ryan Lay, who is the Ryan that joined at the same time around when I joined, and I am Ryan number 3. I am a coach at Major League Hacking, so if you're in the Texas area, you'll probably see me around this year. I am also a lettuce enjoyer, and I am part of the blue team. So if you're part of the blue team, let's go. We love the blue team. If you're part of the red and yellow team, that's also okay. But blue team has my heart. Okay. And we'll be beginning. So for this workshop, I normally have a lot of supplementary material, like slides. This one is going to be more hands-on, so we're just going to be coding hands-on instead of going through a lot of lecture materials. So if you want to have a lecture about this, feel free to join me at other Global Hack Weeks, where I will probably be doing a lot more Next.js tutorials and lectures. Okay, is portfolio mentioned in the challenges? If so, which challenge? I'm not entirely sure if the portfolio is mentioned in a challenge, but I know deploying a Next.js app using Defang is. So if you join us for the stream, you can get that one at least. Is learning tRPC a good idea? I think learning tRPC, learning REST, learning all the different, like learning GraphQL, all has its pros and cons. Depending on where you go to, if you go to industry, you also have companies that use a combination of all of these. So I think learning is great in and of itself. I think learning tRPC is definitely a great idea, especially if y'all are fans of the T3 stack, or I've heard of that before. But yeah, I've been postponing starting working on building my portfolio. Now I can't. Exactly. We're going to be building it today. We're going to get your portfolio and we're going to help you host it. So you guys can, or y'all can just have something to show. So it's something that I definitely postponed. So I hope y'all can work with me to build a new one. What is blue, red, yellow? So blue, red, yellow are the 3 teams, the guilds in MLH. They were more of a COVID age thing, I think, if I recall correctly. But I think it's still just a funny joke to toss around every now and then. Ryan 3, Lord of the Portfolio. Thank you, thank you. All right. Any chance, or by chance, I was also working on a Next.js project for my portfolio where you spotlight and many other components. So I thought of watching this as it would also help me with my work, and I can probably get to know more components and all. By the way, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I guess I'm going to try to cover the last of these questions real quick so we can get to building. But yeah, I'm excited and I'm happy to hear that you want to build this with us. Also, I noticed you can't see me with the comment. That's so funny. Let's try this. You still can't see me. That's so funny. All right. What are channel points? Channel points are just a feature of Twitch. Is portfolio building mentioned in the challenges? If so, what challenge? Not entirely sure. We deploy with defang? Absolutely. That would be next session. You want to see your old one, Ryan? If you want to see my old one, you could probably just Google my name and find it somewhere. It's not the best. I made it on an airplane trip, so hoping to build a new one with y'all today. And then, all right, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll begin now. Let me just remove that. All right. Once again, I am Ryan, and we're going to be starting the workshop now. So let me just go ahead and share my screen real quick. One moment. Give me 1 second. I'll actually look and see if I can find where the portfolio is mentioned, because I'm not entirely sure, but let me just add this to the stage real quick. Give me 1 moment. Sorry, I'm not too much, or not too familiar with all of the challenges during this Global Hack Week. Yeah, I don't think building a portfolio is a challenge this Global Hack Week, but deploying with defang is. All right, okay, so let's begin. So once again, giving a quick overview and history of what Next.js is. Next.js is known colloquially as the React framework. It is the most popular React package, if I recall correctly, besides React itself, which is definitely on top. It is one of my most favorite frameworks to learn and use, as it has a lot of pros, some cons, but generally it is a really fun tool to use. It's also picking up a lot of speed in industry right now, so a lot of companies are adopting it more and more, especially the ones that are client facing or consumer facing. So it is a good thing to learn and definitely a fun skill to have on your resume. So let's go ahead and begin. So as mentioned earlier, we're going to be using a library called shadcn.ui. I'm going to actually pop that up on screen as well real quickly. I'm just going to share my entire window. How about that? Okay. All right, so we're going to be using a tool called shadcn.ui, which is, yeah. So shadcn.ui is probably one of the more popular UI libraries out there. It is definitely gaining insane speeds right now, and it's one of my favorites. If you want to think about how shadcn is, it's kind of a mixture between Material UI or MUI and something like TanStack's libraries, or if you've used React Table, in the sense that Material UI doesn't let you edit too much of the styling. It's built as a out-of-the-box components library, versus like TanStack's suite of libraries, which are built to be more headless, and it gives you functionality but no styling. So the way that shadcn.ui works is whenever you use it, you download the components, and you can basically use those components straight out of the box, but you can also edit the source files, which are downloaded whenever you install them. Yeah, so we're going to be using that. So it is definitely really cool. If you want to see more about how you can use shadcn.ui, you can go ahead and go to the homepage and see all of the various examples, which get cooler and cooler every time they update the site. So it's a really fun tool to use. So to begin this project, what we're going to do is we're going to scaffold with shadcn UI. So we're going to go ahead, copy this command, copy it. We're going to go here. We're going to open up the terminal. And then I'm just going to paste the command in here. Oh, that's GitHub Copilot. Okay, there we go. So this is installing or scaffolding the project using Create Next app. It is an equivalent of Create React app, if you've heard of it from the past. Sadly, it is deprecated. And we are giving it the name My App. It's going to be installing using TypeScript, Tailwind, and ESLint. So we're going to go ahead and use the source directory. We're going to use the app router, which is recommended now. We're not going to change the import alias, though some people argue it's better. And yes, it is for like legacy importing reasons, but for now, this is A-okay. So it's downloading right now. I'll read some comments. Yo, I use Next.js and shadcn UI to build my side project. That's cool. I didn't know that shadcn UI uses Lucid icons. I was literally exporting all icons for Figma as SVG and using them. Oh, I'm so sad. Sorry, bro. Yeah, shadcn UI uses Lucid icons, which is a really nice icon library. Definitely one of my favorites. I think though, if Radix icons had a lot more icons in their library, I would also use that as well, because Radix's icons are really, really cool. I guess y'all can see this. I'm gonna remove that. And then there we go. All right. So yeah, so now that we've installed it, you can see that we now have this My App. I'm gonna go ahead and rename this to, let's name it Next.js Portfolio. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up a code session in Next.js what am I doing? Portfolio. Oh, right. So I use Code Insiders. I just have to type that command. And now we have a window there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so now that we have that, you can see that we have a lot of files scaffolded for us. And for those that are unfamiliar, it may look really, really confusing. To give a brief overview of what has just happened to our file directory, I'm going to go ahead and explain it. So ESLint is just linter configs. So if you want to edit your configs, you can go ahead and do that here. Honestly, always use a linter. It is really, really helpful when you're debugging. We have a git ignore. We have our type references here. We have our next config. We have our package.js. I'm actually going to recommend everyone on dev use -- turbo, and this will enable turbo pack mode. It's going to be released fully for everyone in Next 15, which comes whenever React 19 gets out of release candidate. But yeah, and if you want that command that I just used, go to shadcn UI, just look it up. When you go there, go ahead and go to the Getting Started section and click on Installation. From Installation, just click on Next.js and then copy and paste that command that's in there. Thank you, Dexter Morgan. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, you'll also have a package log. In my VS Code, I hide the package logs because I never need it. But yeah, so the next command to run after that is to initiate shadcn UI, just to get the components.json file. So type in npx shadcn-ui at latest, and then init. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up that terminal again. I'm going to paste that in, and it's going to ask us a bunch of questions. I'm going to show you what my preferences are. I like the default. The difference between default and New York aren't too much. I can actually show it right now. If we go to, I think, themes, customize, and New York, you'll see that it just changes some of the headers, makes them a lot smaller. So typically I recommend defaulting with default. Default is really nice. I enjoy it a lot. So using that here. And then my favorite is to actually use Zinc. Zinc may not sound like the coolest color, but it's actually the most grayscaled palette that uses just like actual like black as black versus using the others as like a dark blue or dark red. So yeah. And then will we be using CSS variables? Yes, we will. And now with all of that, it's going to be installing our components.json. For the most part, you never have to worry about this file. Just use that command line if you ever want to change it. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and now that is installed, I'm going to go back to package.json. For those that haven't already, please use Next.js-turbo. It's going to enable TurboPack, which makes the fast reload a lot faster. For reference, TurboPack was made by the person who made Webpack. And for those that use React, especially Create React App, you'll know that everything uses Webpack. So they acquired a really, really talented engineer, and they have made an awesome, amazing tool for Next. Thank you, Cold Coder. I really like Zinc, and I'm glad that you like Zinc as well. Awesome. Okay, so we have started to scaffold using Shad CN UI. So next, we're going to go ahead and just copy and paste this entire root layout, and we'll be using that as our variables for just like fonts. So it has all these things. I'm just gonna I'll just go ahead and copy and paste each individual one. So everything that's highlighted, we're going to be copying over. Oh, uh-oh. I'm going to reload my package.json. Turbo. Okay, and now we can go into the source directory. So to give a brief overview of how Next.js works, Next.js is very interesting, and it's probably very similar to things that you have seen before. So like React, if you have any assets, which includes videos, images, PNGs, JPEGs, SVGs, anything like that you do not want compiled, you can put that into your public folder, and it's just going to directly reference that whenever your site is live. So put any of that information there, and any code-related stuff in source. So you're going to see that we have 3 folders already. So those 3 folders under source includes 3 things. We're going to have the app directory, which for those that know Next, you'll know that there's also a pages directory in Next. I think after Next 13 or 12, they started using app directory, and I'll explain more how that works later. It's kind of confusing, but also really, really cool. Is there a way to rewind, or do we have to wait for the recording? If you want to rewind, you have to go to YouTube. Sorry about that. And then we have components, which is where all of our Shad CN components are going to install to. And then we have lib, which is just the utility folder. The cool thing is that we have CN, which is just a Tailwind merge with, I forgot what this stands for. Oh my gosh. The class variance something. It's basically a cool way of, if you have conditional stylings and it statically compiles as a server component, then it's not going to understand what styles it needs to compile in Tailwind. So for those that don't know what Tailwind is like CSS, but it has keywords. So it's kind of similar to semantic CSS. However, out of its entire style sheet that it provides, it will only download and compile down what you use depending on your code. So if your code doesn't use any Tailwind at all, it's going to have 0 bundled together whenever you host it. So the problem is whenever you have conditional renderings, let's say if a value is 1, it renders style 1. If value is 2, it renders style 2. It's not going to know that, and let's say style 1 is default, by the way. It's not going to know to render style 2 because style 1 is never changed. So the idea is that with Tailwind merge, it will know that and it will compile everything together, which makes stuff really nice. So yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go into the layout. This top level layout right under app is going to be known as the root layout. We're going to go ahead and import the font as was described in the tutorial docs. We're going to do that. Install CN. I think let's do that right here. Do the font, and then we add this body. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. All right, and then let's install the body here. So I'm just going to go ahead and break this apart. All right. And then we're gonna replace this body over here with that. All right, and now we should have no errors whatsoever. Awesome. So now that we have everything set up, we're actually going to launch the scaffold to make sure that everything is working and that we aren't missing anything. So I'm going to go ahead and run npm run dev, and this should now run it using TurboPack. So we can go ahead and control click that link and see here. When it loads, we have our scaffolding. Awesome. So we have just scaffolded up our Next.js application, and this is going to be the starting template for building our portfolio. Awesome. So to make coding a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and split screen this. So I'm going to drag this over. And oh, geez. No, that's not it. Right here. Awesome. Let's drag that there. Make it split screen. Yeah, feel free to hacking to the root layout part again. Yes, absolutely. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and minify this. So for the most part, all that we did is we copy and pasted what was shown on the GHW docs. So I'm going to go ahead and show and display that again. You can see that over here, not over here, over here, yeah. So if you follow along the getting started installation section, you can see in section 4 fonts, it describes what you need to replace. So I went ahead and just copied and pasted everything. So I replaced, or I downloaded the inter font, I set it up as default, and then I copied and pasted the body function here. Do you have to remove the interclass? And yes, you do. We're replacing what Next.js has as their default and replacing it with some arguably better code. Awesome. I'll give everyone a second to do that. Let me go ahead and change the music to something more cool. Oh, what is this sound? Okay. What's this? Okay, we're gonna try some new music. What's happening? Okay. Okay, sure, we do some piano music now. Awesome, okay. So now, hopefully everyone is up to date on updating the layout.tsx. Next, we're gonna be moving to updating our Tailwind config. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy, where is it? This right here, the font family section. We're going to navigate all the way down to Tailwind config.ts. It's gonna be in that root layout part. All right, and under extend, this object right here, we're going to navigate just to, I like keeping everything alphabetical. So I'm going to put it right between the B and the K. We're going to add that, and we need to import the font family. So I'm going to do that right here. So this top part in the example that GHW gives, we're just going to copy and paste that over here. There you go. All right, awesome. So yeah, so now, once we have installed everything, it should still work here. Awesome, okay. So everything still works and it still compiles. So yeah, and then just for future reference, if we want to add any more GHW components, all you have to do is just type in npx GHW UI at latest, add, and then whatever component you see on this sidebar here. Okay, and now that we have begun scaffolding everything, we can now begin. So let's go ahead and start designing and creating our portfolio. So for those unfamiliar, here is my portfolio real quickly. I have a card portfolio, which is a simple card. I didn't want anything complicated, but for this one, we're gonna have a project section. So who here is familiar with Product Hunt? Where are fonts and Shetland? Yes, they're going to be in layout, and it's just going to be installing from Next Fonts Google. So Google Fonts, if you heard of that, Next has it as a built-in package. So for those that don't know what Product Hunt is, it's a really cool page that you can see all the cool new products that are releasing. If you make your own product, definitely put it on Product Hunt. It's a cool place to visit and see all of the different tools being created. So one of the cool things I like about Product Hunt is they use a kind of style and design that has like cards. So if you look at them, you see these horizontal cards, and each of these represent a project or a product, right? So I like how they have a image for it, they have the name, they have a description, and they have some miscellaneous metadata below, as well as an upvote button on the side. So we're going to be essentially kind of copying the design of this into our design for our project section, as well as education section, to kind of just give a very high level overview of our experience and history, and have and allow users to click on these to display more information about them. Can we go over the font part again? Yes, we can. Okay. So if you are on the fourth part of the installation page, you can go ahead and navigate to layout.tsx inside of the app router or the app folder. And inside of that, all you have to do is you have to paste, enter, like the first line that you see highlighted over here. Paste that right here. Next part is you want to delete that const enter is equal to something, 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 and paste the second highlighted part. And then after that, you want to go to body, and you want to replace the entire body section with this body section over here. Okay. Do you have to remove intro.class name? Yes. Awesome. All right. Okay. So saying all of that, we have a lot of different components that we probably want to use here, right? I guess for a page like this, what we're planning to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a to-do file. Okay, so let's make our to-do file. So we're going to want a lot of things in here, right? So we're going to want I guess we're going to want a project section to showcase all of our projects. We're also going to want an experience section. We're going to want an education section. And then, yes, let's also do skills. Anybody have any? Oh, I guess we also need contact information. Skills could actually just be part of the experience and projects, similar to how LinkedIn does their new skills section, how it's under projects and experience. Oh, what about the part in Tailwind? Yes, absolutely. So if you go to Tailwind config, all you have to do is you have to copy this top part over here. You want to copy and paste those top 3 lines and put that on line 2. And then after that, you want to navigate down to where you can see extend. And somewhere in extend, you want to copy and paste this font family information. Oops. So you can just copy and paste this right here, paste it below, and now we've installed the font family. So yeah, I already have that down here. I like sorting them alphabetically, so I put them in between the B and the A. Nice, awesome. Okay, so I need y'all's help with this. So if y'all can help me ideate and think of some ideas to include on this, we can go ahead and start ideating and creating this as if we were building a hackathon project per se. So yeah, definitely want some contact information on there. How else, or else how else are people supposed to contact you? What else can we do? Do you edit the app structure as well? No, we didn't move anything in the app router. For reference, the app folder, it's easier to call it as the app router, as that's going to be the main source of all of our pages. Anytime you make a new page, you just add that, and I'll show you how to do that soon. Awesome. Okay. So going back to our to-do list, we're going to have a project section. We're going to have a experience section, an education section, and contact information section. None of these are going to be in any order as of right now, but we are going to include the skills section and a skills section in experience, or in project and experience as well, as I think it's easier to have like kind of like badges or tags underneath each of them versus having a massive list, which yes, it's kind of nice to see a wall of text, but at the same time, it doesn't add anything too meaningful to it. Um, we also probably want a landing page, which is going to be the About Me section. I guess here we can add the contact information, put it at the very top to make it easier for people to see. Yeah, and then I guess we're going to have our footer, right? And then, you know what, to make it more accessible, we're going to have a navbar. So this navbar can allow people to just quickly jump into any section because it seems we have a lot. We have a landing page, projects, experience, and education. So probably a good idea to just have everything in one section, which is an easy way to hop in between. All right. And then we can put a funny thing about us in the portfolio. Yeah, you can put a funny thing if you want. Can you show what design we're gonna make? Blogs. Okay, so normally I would start scaffolding with Figma and create some design templates for us, but in interest of just YOLOing it and trying to build together, I'm going to build everything from scratch here. So we're just gonna start coding and visualizing it on the side and see what works for us. So yeah, so blogs, yes, let's add that too. It's probably gonna make a stretch goal though. Too much because that requires a backend. If we have extra time, we will definitely get into that. We might have some time. So yeah, let's go ahead and start building the page. So before we get building, the last thing that is kind of instrumental to explain here is how the app router works. So I'm going to go ahead and get a visual. What is it called? Yep. So to kind of visualize how the app router works, I'm going to show this image that is very famous for, I'm just opening a new tab. What's happening? No. Okay. Open it in a new tab. So yeah, the way, come on. Okay, there we go. The way the app router works is that your app router or the app folder is going to be the top level directory that contains and houses all of your code. So this app folder you see right here is going to be where all of your pagination begins from. So if you want to think about it, think about how pages work in React if you have experience in React, and how you basically define a bunch of routes and then you define how the routes work with each other. In Next.js, the app router actually handles all of that for you. So the way it works is whenever you create a new folder, that name is going to be the new segment in the URL. So it's going to be /app, or app is going to be /. Think of it as this folder is going to be /. Any folder you have beneath that is going to be whatever is appended there, right? So for components, we're going to have /components. It's going to be app/components. So /components. And then anytime we have a page.js, that's going to be the page. So it's going to be /dashboard, and /dashboard is going to be this page right here. It's kind of confusing, but the way it works is if you want to display a page, it has to be named page.js. That is the rule. If you want to have a layout, which think of it as like you have a navbar applies to any pages below it. Any layout is going to apply to any other pages or folders that are beneath that in the tree. So the reason why we call this one right here a root layout is because it applies to every page in our app router, because it's at the very top. Yeah, I agree. This app router makes paging so much easier and also easier to understand and to navigate whenever you're looking through or showing people or peer programming, stuff like that. And then if you want an API route, you can simply name it route.js, as you can see right here. Normally that's located in an API folder. So yeah. So anything with these reserved names are going to be routable, Everything else is non-routable. So you can see in the app router, you can also have a components folder. I personally recommend putting your components folder instead of your source folder versus your app folder. And same thing with like lib components and stuff like that. The source folder was created because having stuff like that was a little bit confusing. So they went ahead and allowed you to create a source folder and have app inside of it. So yeah, so that's what you can see in the source folder. We have components, lib, and app. It makes everything so easy to read because you know in app, the app folder is going to contain all of our API routes, all of our pages, and all of our layouts. There's also a few more things you can have, but if you want to learn about those, go ahead and visit the Next.js docs to view them. All of our components go into the components folder, and then any utility, hook, stuff like that goes in the lib folder. So everything is very simple. And for the most part, those are the 3 directories that you will be interfacing with besides public, which is just for static assets. So yeah, now that we have all of that, hopefully it wasn't too much, we can now begin creating our site from scratch. So it's going to be an adventure. We're gonna bump into a lot of errors. I just ask that y'all bear with me as we go through debugging and creating this portfolio that we can all use. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So now that we have everything that we want for this project, we can start thinking about what components that we need from this. So we know that we're going to need a navbar. We also know what happened. We also know that we probably want a, let's see, I don't want to call it a card. We want something similar to this product HUD cards. So anyone have any idea of how to name that or what to name it as? Anyone? Like card might be a little bit too vague. Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Cold Coder, for asking all the questions. The questions definitely help me explain things that I don't think about immediately. So really appreciate it, and thank you, Circuit, for appreciating it as well. I really appreciate it. Okay, so experience card, probably not the best name. I need some help with the naming here. I'm not a great namer. The thing is, I think card is also used in Next.js, so I don't want to use this new name. Item card. Genius, thank you. Ryan card, lol. Yeah, okay, we're gonna have a item card. We're also going to have, I guess, do we want a section? Let's do a section. Let's do let's just call it section. And that's going to be where we host our projects, our experience education. All of this will be sections with item cards inside of it. And then, I'm trying to think what else. In our footer, we probably want to include, let me go ahead and create a footer and a header component. I don't want to spam our Apex. And then let's go ahead and have I guess can item card have a social section? Let's actually not do that. Let's do a socials card. Okay, we're gonna have a socials card, and it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm thinking I don't want it to look similar. I want it to pop out. And then yeah, that should be pretty much it as far as components go. Call this section there. We call this section portfolio. I don't think I'm entirely understanding. Oh, I see. The name of it. I guess like resume section. I'm thinking the resume probably can go into contact. The contact information, because it's something that you really want people to see immediately. Like if you have your portfolio, you want them to see your name, about you, and then immediately see the like important information, like a CV. Yeah. So we can do all of that. Okay, so these are going to be our components. So I'm just going to name it components, and then we can have our that is going to be our sections. Right, and then if we Oh, I forgot how to display it. Is it this? Okay, there we go. Yeah, and there we go. Now we have our to-do list. I could have added the checkboxes too, LOL. I'll just do that real quick. Just do... Okay. No, come on. Did this work? What? Okay, that's so interesting. I thought that's how you do checkboxes. Maybe not? Okay, how do you uncheck boxes then? Does anyone remember how to uncheck boxes? Oh, with a dash, thank you. It's been a while. Oh, no dash. Oh, it's the lack of space. Okay. Wait, no, I still want that. Oh, thank you. Ah, there it is. Okay. That's so funny. I did everything but that. Okay. We have our sections. Thanks y'all for catching that for me. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of learning with this and just remembering. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up our stuff and yeah, let's go ahead and begin. So the first thing that we want to do is I'm going to ignore all of the stuff here right now, and I'm going to actually work on creating the nav bar because the nav bar sounds like the easiest and hopefully it is the easiest. Yeah, and I think it's a fun place to interact with and create avant-garde designs. So let's do that. So just to make life a little bit easier, I kind of want to delete all of this code. I don't need all of this code, TBH. Get rid of this at least. Okay, there we go. You have our page like that. All right, okay. So now that we have that, we can start creating components. So I'm gonna go to the components folder. I am going to create a new file, and we decide it's gonna be navbar. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna do navbar.tsx. We're probably gonna have a few more components for navbar itself. We probably need a wrapper. There is no dynamic data, so maybe not. So, and then I have an extension that allows me to just scaffold up these components. Yeah, if you want, you can also just copy and paste this. But yeah, you want to import React from React. Type props is equal to this empty object. Export default function navbar as props. Also, I forgot that. Isn't the semantic in capitalized components? Okay. I'm gonna capitalize that. Have it there. Oh, how do I get the preview for to do? So I'm on Mac right now, but if you do Command Shift V, it basically renders it. If you also go into settings, go to settings there, and then it's gonna be like markdown preview. I think there's like a, where is it? Keybinds. Type down markdown. It's gonna be the, yeah, right here. Markdown. I don't know, it's not showing. No. This is like the markdown viewer. This one right here. Yeah, open preview. There you go. And for me, it's Command Shift V. Control KV. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Let's go. Okay, so yeah. So let's go ahead and edit this. So first thing I want to do, just to make sure that we have everything able to hot reload on the side, I'm going to go ahead and integrate this. So if we navigate to layout.tsx inside of the app router, we can go ahead and just pop this right below the body, right below children. Just go ahead and clean this up over here. And we're going to call it navbar. Right there. Man, why is it yelling at me? Okay, I need to reload my, oh, that's not it. I need to reload TypeScript. There you go. How do we get the code? Okay, so I have a extension that will auto-generate it. I can show y'all the extension. Need like React. I forgot which one is code snippets. I have like a React snippets extension. Yeah, this one here. ES7 plus React / Redux / React Native JS snippets. The RAFC. I did RTFC. No, what was it? No, I just forgot. Oh my god. I forgot what I typed in. It's kind of just muscle memory. RSTFC. Oh my gosh, how did I just forget? That actually works too, yeah. RFC works. I like having okay, this is my hot opinion, my hot take. I feel like arrow functions are really nice because it does a lot of shorthanding. However, it does make readability a little bit complex, especially to beginners. So I like writing function for my components, and then for stuff below it, I like using arrow functions. Where's party? Yeah, that works. I forgot what I typed earlier, but oh my gosh. TSRAF RAFCE. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I think right now. It's just personal preference. I don't like using arrow functions for components. I like having it beneath it just to increase readability, because in the end, the entire point of the arrow function is to increase readability, but it kind of takes away from it sometimes. So I use arrow functions kind of sparingly. I like using just function to help improve readability. But I am so sad I forgot the command I use. RF. Okay, I'm getting there. It's RTFC? RFTC. I'm so sad I forgot it. Okay. Does anyone know how we can get this extension to, how can we use this extension to get the snippet? Yeah, so once you install it, all you have to do is just type in the keywords. As you've seen people typing in chat, RAFCO, RAFCE, TSRAFCE, TSRFCE. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, yeah, TSRFC, that's what it was. Okay, there you go. Yeah, awesome sauce. All right, yeah, that's what we had earlier. I have it like muscle memory. So yeah, that's my personal opinion. I like doing the function for components, but yeah. Anywho, now that we have that, we can see that nav bar is displayed on the top left, but as you all know, that isn't a nav bar. So let's go ahead and create this nav bar. So I'm going to start styling it. So for this part of the workshop, it is going to be a little bit confusing as I am just typing Tailwind straight up. I'm going to try to explain what each one is, but for the most part, it's one of those, you got to brute force it and read the docs to kind of memorize them. It's a little bit annoying, but CSS is CSS. Can you tell the name of the extensions that are telling you the errors? Yes. Okay. The reason why I haven't hopped over to Z yet is because the sheer amount of extensions I have makes my life so much easier. So let me find that one real quick. It's like a funny name, if I recall correctly. I have so many extensions. It's actually kind of crazy. Oh, another thing you'll probably be seeing is Sonar Lint. I love including a linter and just like code vulnerability tracking. So if y'all hacked in the 2021-2022 season, y'all might have also used Sneak. I use that as well, thanks to MLH. So yeah, let me find it real quick. Error lens, there you go. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I'm using ES7 plus React snippets for the snippets and then error lens for the inline viewing. Where do I put the navbar component? Yes. So the navbar component is going to be inside of layout.tsx. So you're going to put it right above children. Because the idea is that children is going to be every other part of the page inside of this layout. And then we want navbar to also be there, but on top. I can't seem to be able to produce the website in localhost. Can you tell me how I can run the npm command so it come back? Yeah. So the command you run is going to be npm run dev. If you can post the error in the chat and let me know what it is, I can try to help you with that. But yeah, you put navbar right here. The session should be recorded on YouTube. I'm not able to see it though. Oh no. I'm not entirely sure. Are you getting an error or is it no error? Because if you have this navbar component and you input it in layout, it should be there. If you just type in this navbar component right here. Yeah, so to get back into it, we're gonna start writing some class names. So I'm gonna do width, full, height, full. We're gonna do a background just to make it a little, actually, let's do max, or okay, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do max. We're gonna do large. And then we're gonna do a background just to see it. We're gonna do a background of red 500. Then we're gonna do flex, justify center, item center. Minimize this a little bit. Idea here is that we're gonna give it a width of 100%, a height of 100%. We're gonna make the max width it can be 32 rems. That way it's not spanning the entire thing, because I'm gonna do a hovering navbar to be a little bit avant-garde. We're gonna give it a background of red just to see where it is, and then have anything inside of it in the center. Okay, I put it above children, but no navbar in the output. Did you save navbar on your side? It might also be because in page.tsx, I removed this bit right here. That was like this paragraph gets started by editing, because I think it was fixed in the top left, so I might be hiding it. So get rid of that as well. There's no error, but it's not just not producing the website. Oh no. Oh, you're so clutch. I did not know that. That's actually really, really clutch. Thank you for that. You're in the right folder, maybe CD, and then the name of the app, my app, and then run it. You don't have to put it in page.tsx. That's up to you, but I would highly recommend putting it in the navbar, or sorry, in the layout, because layout, it applies to any page below it. And we're really not going to have too many pages, so it doesn't matter too much, but yeah, I would just remove that paragraph that had the fixed thing at the very top. Yeah, let's save this, and yeah, now we see we have a navbar there. So we actually do need a navbar container. I'm gonna make a new component, and it's gonna be nav. Oh. Where is it? Make a new file called navbar container. I don't want to pollute the other namespace of tsrfc. And this is just going to contain navbar inside of it. Okay, there we go. And then I can go ahead and go to the layout. Remove this navbar right here. And then put back in navbar container. Probably should be the other way around, but that's A-okay. Okay, and in this navbar container, we're going to give it a class name of with full height full. Oh, and then flex, justify, center, item, center. Okay, there we go. All right, and now we see a navbar that is now centered at the very top. So to explain a little bit of what I just did, all that magic, is I gave this parent component. So right now, if you were to look at this and inspect element, which it's gonna make the screen so tiny. What I'm gonna do here is if I inspect this right now, yeah, there you go. You can see that this container element is going to inherit the entire width and height of the screen. But the height is, of course, just going to be as big as it is. I'm going to give it flexbox. That way I'm able to just say, I want to put it horizontally in the center with justify center, and then I want it to be vertically in the center with item center. In reality, you probably don't even need a height full or an item center, as it's just going to take the full space of the items inside of it. So saying that, now I'm getting it a child. That way, this child can be edited by this, it can be centered in this container. And this child right here is just going to be it's taking up the entire width and height of it, but the max width it can be is going to be large. So it's going to be this 30 rem width. And then I'm giving it a background of red 500. That way we can see it there. I'm saying flex, justify, and item center. That way everything is centered inside of that. So yeah, okay. And then from there, we can go ahead and start creating a little bit more of this navbar. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding some things to it. So we're gonna need a home icon to get us to the very top. We're also going to need a project section. Then we're gonna need a experience section. And then we're gonna want a education section. And probably content. Right, so those are the navigations there. And then let's say we also at the very end want a hire me button, which will just give them your resume, right? So yeah, saying all of this, let's go ahead and start adding icons for this. So we're gonna be using Lucid icons or Lucid icons. We're gonna get a home button. We're gonna click that house, copy that JSX, paste it in. And then add import from Lucid React. So if you installed ShadCN UI, Lucid icons should also already be installed as well. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some icons for all of this. So for projects, let's do, what's a good one? This folder icon. Yeah, let's do the folder icon for projects. Let's put the import. Let's use this briefcase for work experience. I like that as well. And then for education, let's do a university. Should it be the building or should it be the graduation cap is the question. I look at like graduation cap. Education section, and then contact us. We're gonna be like a mail icon. Email. Yeah, let's use that. So the mail will be the contact me, and then the hire me. What's a good hire me icon? Like a job icon. Plus. Can't hire your job. Plus. Yeah, let's just do a plus one then. Maybe extra and then do a diamond plus. Why not? Okay. For all of that, there we go. Okay. Oh, nice, Nightcoder. Should be an error while using port function. Oh, you don't need to add a port function. I don't think there is a necessary need for it. So you can just go ahead and omit that from your package.json. Can you show the nav container components once done, please? Yes. Let me do a word wrap real quick. what was the hotkey again? Whoever had that ready. Alt Z. There we go. You're awesome for teaching me that. Text content does not match server and HTML. Get more to it here. Edition error. Oh, okay. So you, cold coder, you found one of the most notorious errors of Next.js, and that is going to be the hydration error. So what you're doing there is you're either putting a component in a component, an element in an element that can't have children, or you're trying to edit something like weirdly, or okay, so just to confirm with you, to make sure that we're on the right page, on page.tsx, I went ahead and I removed this paragraph right here. I removed that because it was fixed and it was blocking the navbar. Once I did that, I created this navbar component that's just going to house all of our different sections. In all of these different sections, what do you call it? Yeah, in all of these, I also made a navbar container where I implemented it. In this navbar container, we went ahead and on layout.jsx, we added this right above children. That might be a very important part. Make sure that this is right above children, but inside of body. All right. Okay. So yeah, now that we have that, let's go ahead and see if it shows. There we go. We got all of our janky icons. Let's go. Okay. Now to make this look a little bit neater and a little bit cleaner, I'm going to go ahead and change this to zinc, and let's make it a darker color. Okay. And now let's make all of these icons. Class name, we're going to make it text. Primary. Yeah, actually, we're going to use shed CN terms for this the raw colors. We're going to do BG primary foreground, I think, right? I think that's right. I think we're on light mode right now, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. Okay, so I'm going to give all of these text primaries. I'm going to copy and paste these into all of them. Okay, now they should all follow that. Actually, are they even working? I just realized maybe not. Okay, primary foreground is white. Okay, I think we are in light mode right now. So that makes sense. Yes. Okay, I can also show how to do themes in a second. Actually, let's go ahead and do that now. So we have a little bit of that navbar right there. Let's go ahead and learn about themes. So we can do theming. And okay, so you can choose between using CSS variables or Tailwind CSS utility classes for theming. So utility classes are these. The utility classes for theming set tailwind.css variables to false in your components.json file. So we're not going to be using utility classes. We're going to be using CSS variables here. So to use CSS variables for your theming, set CSS variables to true in your components.json file, which if we go to that, it should automatically be true. It's going to be in your components file. Yeah, it should already be set to true. So the convention is we use a simple background and foreground convention for colors. The background variable is used for the background color of the component, and the foreground variable is used for the text color. So I actually got that the wrong way. So it's going to be primary foreground. All right, no, let's not do other things. All right, and then this one right here is going to be primary background. LOL. All right. The background suffix is omitted when the variable is used for the background color of the component. So yeah, okay, we can just do that. Okay. Given the following CSS variables, the background color of the following component will be whatever that is. Okay. A list of variables that should automatically be created for us. We don't have to add that. If you want to add new colors, and you just add it there for new colors. So you don't have to worry about that too much. For now, that should be perfectly enough. So we have our theming done. So go back to the page. You can see, okay, there we go. Dark mode by default definitely sounds a lot more correct. Awesome. So next, okay, to answer the question about can we use Bootstrap, yes, Bootstrap is really popular, but I do, the reason why I use ShadCN UI and why I recommend it is it works really, really nicely with Next.js, and it's also very editable. The problem with Bootstrap is that you can't mutate it. It's not meant to be mutated. It's an out-of-the-box component. So let's go ahead and add dark mode. So we're going to npm install next themes. I'm gonna add a new terminal here. Okay. And in interest of time, I ask that if anyone's in chat, if you can help me answer some questions, that would be really, really awesome. I really want to see if I can get as much done in this session as possible before we hit the end of the time. So I'm going to be zooming a little bit through this. If you want to see the history and the progress that we made, please go look through the YouTube video where where you're able to rewind and fast forward as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is it's telling us right now that we're going to have to add a new component called theme provider. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that code. I'm going to go to our components folder. I'm going to right click, new file, and then make a new file called theme. Ooh, it always glitches on me like that. Theme provider.tsx. So in this theme provider, we can go ahead and add that. Let's go ahead and make this a little bigger, or I'm just going to shrink this. There we go. Yeah, we're going to add the theme provider, and then we're going to wrap our root layout in this theme provider. So I'm going to copy that. We're going to go to layout. We are going to import this at the very top. And then we are going to just copy this theme provider over here and wrap our body in that. So this right there, and then format that. There we go. All right, and we have just wrapped our entire like children and navbar container inside of this theme provider. So now we need to add a toggle button. So we're just going to go ahead and copy this. Oops. I'm going to copy this, and we're actually they called it mode toggle. I am going to go ahead and make a new folder, and I'm going to call it UI/mode toggle.tsx, and in that I'm going to paste it. And we also need to install the button component. So for those that are not familiar with how to install ShadCN components, let's go ahead and show everyone how ShadCN works, because we haven't covered that yet. So all you have to do is you have to go to the documentation, scroll down to buttons, and then all you do is you just copy and paste that installation command. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to the terminal. I'm going to go ahead and paste that. And now it should add that button. And the moment it adds it, you should see this red thing go away. There you go. And then we also have to install drop-down menu. So I'm going to go down to drop-down menu. I'm going to copy this code right here, select npm, and paste it right there. Hi, nothing to everything. Most of the viewers are on Twitch, but the ones on YouTube are definitely going back and rewinding because this is kind of fast. All right, okay. So now that we've installed drop-down menu and button through the npx ShadCN at latest add command, we can now use this mode toggle component. So let's go ahead and go back to this dark mode where it shows this code. Now that we have this code, let's go ahead and add this to our navbar. I'm going to do the navbar thing. Let's go ahead and add that right here. It's going to be toggle theme. Okay, and let's add this component. All right, slash components. Now that we've added that, we should see it pop up here, and I can change the light and dark theme the entire page, which is really, really cool. Okay. So as you can see right here, this navbar don't really look like a navbar right now. Let's go ahead and make it look more like a navbar by doing some spacing. So first thing that we want to do is I want to separate all of our 5 different sections with our 2 utility buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap both of those in a div real quick. So I'm going to wrap those in divs. I'm gonna format this page real quick. I'm gonna move down this terminal. Sorry if this is a lot of information all at once. Let's close that for now. Yep. Next thing that we can do is let's add some styling to this. So, oops. So we're gonna give this actually this entire thing should be a flex box. We're gonna change justify center to justify between. Justify between basically means that any thing that's gonna be inside of it is gonna be pushed to the edges with equal amount of distance between everything inside of that if there are 3 or more objects. So justify between, which is now so that everything's on the edges. Let's go ahead and add some padding. I'm gonna fix that side later. I'm gonna give this a flex. We're gonna give this a justify center, items center, and then we're gonna give it a gap of 2. Let's give it a gap of 4. Let's space them out. Okay, now that we have that, I also want to give this way more width than it has height. So I'm gonna do px, which is the x-axis of feet, so 2 rem. We're gonna do py of, let's say, half of that. 4, it's better. I need to get rid of that. It's kind of being weird right now. Class name of flex, justify center, item center. Now they're on the same line. Okay, and I need to give it a gap. Let's give it a gap of 4. All right, okay. So now it's a lot more nice. Let's go ahead and also make this a lot less Minecrafty and add some some rounding to it. So I'm just gonna type in rounded, and rounded should give it a little bit. I kind of want a little bit more. I'm gonna give it some rounded large. Let's do extra large. Awesome. Okay, and then I think that might be a little bit too much padding. I'm making 4 and 2. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I like that a lot more. Okay, and then this navbar might already be a little bit too large. I'm gonna make it a bit smaller because there's not too much. Actually, wait, before I do that, I want to make this a button over here because this hire me button, when you click on it, it's supposed to like show your your resume PDF. So I'm gonna actually create a button. So if you remember, whenever we installed that mode toggle button, we had to install ShadCN's button component, and I'll show you the power of the button component in 1 second. So we go to button. We can go through how it all works and see all the examples. So you can have a primary button, a secondary button, a destructive button, an outline button, and a ghost button. And then you can have a link, an icon size. You can have buttons with icons. You can have a loading button that's disabled. Use it as child, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and create this button component from ShadCN. Oops. Let's do it like that. Okay, we're going to add a diamond plus into here. Then we're going to add a description of it. So I'm going to do a hire me. So if we go back, we can see it says hire me. Let's go ahead and give this center, item center, gap 2. Okay, and then I want this to have a variant of default. Is it on default already? Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. Go back here, check on the with icon that they use. Okay. Oh, they didn't even give it a span. Okay, let's remove that span then. Okay, but it's interesting how it's not giving like that highlight section. Ooh, okay. Maybe it's because it's a primary variant. Yeah, let's give it a secondary. Okay, and that's how we can get that white color. Okay, so let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do that then. So we're gonna give this. If I can just remove this, I think it should be okay. And if we change the modes, okay, it changes automatically. As y'all can see here, these two colors are not the same. They are not the same color. So let's go ahead and show you why ShadCN UI is great. We can go ahead and just edit the components here and see why it's doing that. So it's using the drop-down menu. The drop-down menu triggers a button. This button is given outline and is an icon. So I'm actually going to go back to that navbar component and change this to outline. Okay, there we go. That's why. I also like outline as well. So let's do light mode. Okay, so we have those two cool buttons. I want to change this space in between. Let's make it 2. There we go. We now have home, directory, our projects, experience, education experience, and our contact us section. So let's go ahead and also make all of these buttons over here. So yeah, so let's create buttons. Create buttons for all of these, and all of these buttons are going to be, how should they be styled? I'm going to give them ghost. So let's do variant is equal to, how does ghost look again? Yeah, I want ghost. Ghost looks cool for this. Let's do variant style ghost. Let's do size is equal to icon. And let's put everything inside of this. So I'm just going to copy this. There's probably there is a better way of doing this. So I'm going to show you the cool things about using VS Code as your IDE. I'm going to middle click all of these. What is it? Option click. I'm going to set new cursors on all of these. I'm going to paste, copy all of that, and paste them in here. There we go. Awesome. Okay, and now we have all of that. I'm going to go ahead and remove these class names because these class names I don't think are necessary anymore. So I'm going to replace all of those. Maybe they were. Oh, aren't they coloring up now? So interesting. Now when you hover them, they don't work. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay, let's see how they do it. Anybody have any idea why it's doing this? Any chatters? I don't know why it's doing that. Their example uses a different component button with icon. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, you mean this right here? Yeah, I think they just made their own button icon component for this. But I could just go ahead and just take what I need from it. I guess it would be a lot smarter to not just paste it in here and make new components for each of them. But I think they're pretty much the exact same thing. It's not really reducing too much. I don't know why it's giving that type of styling. I'm doing some kind of something funny with styling right now. Look at this. Oh no, that is just wrong. I don't actually know why it's doing that. If y'all have any idea, please let me know. This is weird. Class name, primary, text primary. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I guess I'll just use a different component then, or a different variant. Signature does the same thing. Oh, that's so interesting. I guess when you have an icon, do you have to use this? Okay, let's just go ahead and remove all of the, yeah, let's remove all of that. And hope that they can take care of it. Oh, is it because the nav? Okay, that's why I found out. Haha. The reason why it's being so annoying is because this background to begin with is not being controlled by. Well, it is. Or foreground? Okay, that's probably why. Hmm. How can I make it pop now? Is the question. I guess it does make sense that in dark mode you want dark mode and light mode you want light mode. So let's go ahead and just give it a border. Give it a border real quick. Let's give this a margin of 4. And it's stuck. It's not sticky yet, so let's give it a sticky and then a top 2. Please? Oh, all wrong one. It should be inside of the navbar container. There we go. Oh, LOL. Sorry, M4 goes inside. Sticky top 0 goes right there. There we go. Yeah, so now we have this floating nav bar that can take us places. So let's, I guess for now, let's give it a link too. So let's do where is it? Source? What is it? What was href? What was it again? Oh, you have to wrap it in a link. That's right. Okay. So in all of these, we want to wrap them in links. So I'm going to go ahead and do the middle click trick again. Middle click, or option click. Go through all of that. Click enter, paste that on top. Cut that. End, format. And then we need to import link from next link. And then all of these need to have the href tag. So for now, I'm just going to do href is equal to hashtag com, right? Okay, and they won't go anywhere for now, but they do things. So yeah, we have this nav bar working now. We do need to update all of these with links soon, but we will do that in a tiny bit. Let's go ahead and start implementing a little bit more of this portfolio. So yeah, now that we have all of that, let's create our sections. So I'm going to create a new component, and we're going to call it sections, please. I'm going to call it, actually, I was going to name it sections. Yeah, sections.tsx, tsrfc. And then, okay, so sections is going to be very, very interesting here. So it's going to have a lot of things. We're going to want a title to name the section. What else are we going to want? I think it's just going to be children. So we add all of the children, which is going to be everything else. Yeah, I think that's it for now. So yeah, let's go ahead and add that. So we know that we're going to need children. Let's pass through here, title and children. Okay, in this section as well, actually, yeah. What else do we need? We do want to display a title somewhere. So let's go ahead and create a wrap program list children because we want to order it differently. Then let's give this an h2 title. We'll list our title. And let's give it an icon as well. So I'm going to do icon. Yeah, let's do that. And let's do icon here. And then let's give it an icon as well. So we can do icon like that, and then just give it a okay. I'm kind of messing this up a little bit. Let's do a span around this. Okay, so this span is going to contain the title. So I'm going to give it a class name of flex, justify center, item center, gap 2, or gap 1. It's going to be an icon next to its title. The title should be big enough. It should be controlled by the styling. After that, we also want to control this entire container. So we're going to give it a class name of flex. We're going to make it go down. So it's going to be a flex column. It's going to list all of our stuff. Then let's do a justify center, item center. There should only be one item, so it doesn't matter too much. And then next, for all of this children, we're going to have a lot of stuff in there. Let's make it a I want to give this a margin of like 2 to separate it from everything else. Same thing with this title. And then let's give it flex. Let's make it a flex column as well. Let's make it center, item center, and then gap of like 2. And then hopefully all of that speculative coding can be implemented in this page. So let's go ahead and delete all of this. Okay, and then let's create a new section. And then in this section, so the section needs to be given a few things. It needs to be given a okay. So this section needs to be given a title. So this first section is going to be called, what did we say we wanted to do? We wanted project. So it's going to be titled projects. We're going to give it an icon of, what did we use for projects? Was it children? Yeah, we're going to give it a folder icon. Okay, give it this folder icon, and then we want to give it the children. Okay, and then we can give it children, which is going to be all of our different things. So let's just give it a div saying hi for now. Okay, there it is. We have no styling, so it's kind of hard to see. So let's also go ahead and create the styling for each section. All right, so let's give this a BG of red just so we can see it for now. Okay, so we know that we forgot to do let's do a width of full and a height of full. So we can expand to that entire container size. Let's give it a max. Let's do a max width of large. Okay, I like the centered ones. Okay, yeah. So we have a max width large for the project section. Let's get rid of this red and let's make it like secondary background. Okay, secondary. Let's go ahead and give. Actually, we don't want it to be centered. We wanted it to be on the left side. So we're going to use start here, and then. Why is it updating? Oh, it's a column. Items has to start. There we go. Okay. Make sure that these children are taking up the full height and width. I'm gonna give it a width full, height full, and that should take up the entire size. There we go. Let's give this title section a little bit of padding. Do text large. Let's make it extra large. Let's just make it large. Make it nice. And humble padding. Let's make it 2 maybe. Yeah, make it a little bit rounded. So rounded large. Oh, that's the wrong one. Rounded large for the section itself. All right, I want to give this a text bold or font bold. Maybe semi-bold. Okay, we got that now. Let's go ahead and now that that section. Let's make the cards. I'm gonna rename this as well. Oops. Let's make a, what do we call it? We called it an item card. Okay, if any of you all need any help, let me know as well. I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit too fast. We're just in the interest of time. I it's a little bit. So, all right, so let's go ahead and make our item card component, tsrfc, to get that starter code. Once we have that, we know that we're definitely gonna want to have some child components. So we're gonna type in children. We're gonna give children over here. And then we're gonna display children in this item card. And I just realized I gave a space in this one. Okay. So yeah, so this children should now this component should just display all of the children. Now that it is displaying all of the children, we need to go a little bit slower. We need to display a lot in this component itself. So this component is going to need many different things. We're going to want to have a image. Next, we're going to want a title. Then we're going to want a description, and then let's give it a tags. And then let's give it a href. And that should be pretty much everything that we'll need. So it's going to be kind of similar to this product hunt page. We have this image, we have a title, a description, our tags, and then a link that whenever we click on it, it sends us to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and start displaying all of that. So to make it similar to product hunt, we're going to have to frame this in an interesting way. So the top left container is going to have to be a row that has these two elements inside of it. This element right here is going to have to be a little bit more separated. As you can see, there are two different sections. So this is going to be a column. In this column, I guess you could have another two elements here, or we can just have one element inside of a span. It's going to be another section right there. And then you can see in this tiny section, it's going to be horizontal as well. So there's a lot of different parts here. Mostly we're going to have a column. Then we're going to have a, we're going to have a row that contains a column. So it's like this. It's a column that contains rows in all of the columns. It's kind of interesting. So let's mock all of that inside of the code. So what we're going to go ahead and do is let's do a class name, and let's make this class name a row. It's going to be flex, justify center, justify center, item center. We're going to make it with full, height full. All right. And then actually, we can probably even change this to link. So we do need a link to send it whenever people click on it. So we're going to just go ahead and make that a next link. And then we're going to give this an href of string. Or no, what is it? No, we have to import all of these stuff. Oops. Image, title, description, tags, href. So we're going to give this the href property. Okay, so now that we have that done, we do need to implement these rest. So let's create, I'm going to remove children for now. We need to create that first part. So now that we have our row that contains this entire thing, we need to have two different columns. So let's create two different divs that will each contain two different columns. So this first one is going to be, oh, we need a wrapper around this one. What was that? Okay. Okay, so we have this. This right here is going to be, oh, what am I doing here? I'm so wrong. Okay. Yeah, we have two columns. I was right the first time. Class name is equal to flex, flex column, we're gonna justify center, item center. I just put that for everything. It probably isn't the most necessary, but it's just out of habit. Make sure it works. We're gonna give this class name to both of them. And this one right here, normally you use next image. Unfortunately, I have actually reached my limit on, because you only get, I think, 100 free images on next image. So I'm just gonna use one more image just to make sure I'm not getting in trouble here. I'm gonna use a lovely GitHub Copilot that we learned from Cecilia earlier yesterday, and use that to generate some code for us. So we have source, it's gonna get the source of image, the alt of title, the class name of with full height of 48, object cover rounded large. That is actually perfect. Yeah, it's going to tell us to use next image. I'm at my limits right now, so I don't want to use next image, unfortunately. So yeah, we have that first. I guess we don't even need flex for this too much, but hey, we already did it. The next is we're going to work on the second column over here. So this column actually is going to contain two different rows. I'm going to give the class name of flex. Flex row is default, so just justify start at the very beginning. We don't want to center it, and then justify item center to make it vertically centered here. And then we also probably do want a gap. Let's do gap of 1. Yeah, gap of 1. We have this. That's going to be the title and description, and then we're going to have, what's it called? Yeah, then we're going to have the tags here. Okay. So this first one is going to be a span that's going to contain, what should I call it? Actually, we can just make this pop part span. We don't need to make anyone need span. Okay. Now that we have it called span, let's go ahead and add a title. And then we want the description. So let's see if Copilot knows. Does it know? Oh, it was so close. We're actually going to use this code and see if it works in section below. But for now, we're going to do a paragraph of, I'm going to give this a paragraph tag. I'm going to make the inside of it a string. I think that's right. Maybe we'll check. Okay, and then we're going to give this the description. After that, we're going to just paste that code containing the solution to tag mapping. So all these different tags are going to be like buttons, or not buttons, like badges. So if you go to shed cn, I'm going to actually close this repository. We're going to go to badge. Did anyone leave any comments? I'm so far behind on YouTube. I feel you. I'm sorry, bro. There's a lot to get to in the remaining 10 minutes that we have, so I'm kind of zooming through it. We're going to go ahead and download this badge. We're going to download that right there. Okay, and now for all of these, we're actually not going to use spans. We're going to use the badge component. Oh, no, that's from this side. Let's get the one from UI badge. Change this to add badge components, just for like unifying all of that. Okay, never use array index or indices keys. Add something else that's unique to it. So I'm just going to add tag plus. Hopefully that should be enough. Okay, and then all of these badge things should be good enough. I'm actually going to use outline badges. So we're going to give it a variant of outlining. No, we shouldn't need any of this CSS. Okay, and that should contain each of the individual tags. And then this is flex just by center. So it's going to be horizontal, item center, gap 1. It's just going to display everything below it. And yeah, that should work. So now, for the moment of truth. Oh wait, do we need children? There is no children. I don't think there are children. I think what's wrong with it? We don't need it. Okay, let's go ahead and see and hope that this code works. So we're going to go back to our page.tsx. We're going to give it a section. We're going to give it, not section, sorry. It's going to be item card Hello, AT010303. How is it going? Okay, so now that we have item card, we need to start filling in all of these different properties. So I'm going to ask for it to go ahead and add all the missing attributes because there's so many of them. So, okay, let's make our first project. Let's use the Next logo. Why not? So let's get Next.js. Next.js logo. Oops. Let's use the Twitter icon. I'm gonna copy this image address. Also, best practice, normally you don't want to use other people's images from their website because it's, actually, yeah, we're gonna download it. Normally it's a bad play because you're using their resources and it's not entirely fair. It's not part of their terms of service per se. So I would highly recommend doing that. This is a nice practice. We're gonna go ahead and go to workshop. Folder, Next.js portfolio. We're going to go to public, and then we're going to add Next.js logo. Okay, now they have the Next.js logo in our public folder. All we have to do is we just have to give it a URL. So we can say, so it's going to default to public. So I just type in Next.js logo.jpg. I forgot if I need the dot slash. I think so. So that should work for the logo because it's inside of our public folder. Oh yeah, whenever we had the hack your own portfolio, that was cool. That was cool. Yeah, we did it again. We're getting ready for hiring season. So we're building our own portfolio. So title, let's call it. What is this project called? It's gonna be called Next.js or portfolio using Next.js or just Next.js portfolio. Your description is called portfolios built simply. A gallery of me built simply with Next.js. Okay. Okay, a gallery of my career in programming built simply with Next.js. Okay, and then for tags, let's also, I guess, let's make tags required. So a tag could be Next.js. It can be, what else? Shad cn/UI. We can have Tailwind. Also, Shad cn UI is lowercase. That's why I kept it like that. Let's also say React because technically we are using React. And let's add that there for now. And let's give the href to, oh, we need to fix that soon. Let's make the href a page and we're just gonna call it, let's just call it, it's gonna be projects /next. No, /portfolio, whenever we get there. Okay, so now that we have some information displaying, it's almost there. We do need to edit a few more things. So let's go ahead and edit this item card. And let's give this image a width property of, let's say, like 32 and a height property of also 32. That should have worked. Ooh, why is it doing that? That's kind of odd. Oh, maybe I have to use, okay, I'm gonna use next image. Shoot, let's do it. No, what? It must start with a leading slash. Okay. Oh no, we're not using that. Okay. Go to item card. Okay, we're not gonna use next image. It's next image is definitely preferred, but because I'm hitting the bandwidth limit, I understand what I got wrong here. So we're gonna do is we're just gonna do a height of like 16 and a width of 16. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's do a. I don't think I need those. Technically, you should have those. Okay, give it height of 16 with 16. Okay, and what we can do is we can make this grow right here by using flex 1, I think. Let's grow. I thought that's how you do it. Maybe not. I kind of forgot. Me. I need to remember how to make this stop taking up as much space. We just noticed right then. What do you remember? That was like this. That's what this is, right? I forgot. Does anyone remember how to make it not take up that entire space? I guess we can just check what product type it is. Oh, here. Okay, so they do make that flex one. Oh, okay. They give both of those flex one. Okay. That's what it was. So I was right. So they gave flex one there, and then they did flex one here. Why isn't that working though? No. Anybody in chat a CSS pro? If you are, please let me know. Flex one, flex row, gap, y2, okay. And then they did flex one. I'm confused. That should work. Just let it grow. It's really odd, but that's not too much in it. Oh, I guess this is also really big. Let's make this custom text. Should I give this a width of full? Maybe I give this width full, that's why. Oh, there you go. I found the reason why. There we go. All right, let's give this a gap of 2. Now that we have that, I guess I was right. I think it is a span for this. Why is it doing it like that? Oh, because I give it flex. Like inline flex. Okay, yeah, I don't know why flex there. That's kind of funny. Okay, let's give it a text of medium. Add. Okay, I have that. Let's make this extra small. Make this base, right? I think it should all be text small. Again, not look janky. Just do this as well. Okay, I want to make this gap a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's make the tags over here. I should get Oh, why is it doing it like that? Like, this should be just twice start. Oh, because of this right here, just twice start. Oh, it's a column, item start. There we go, and then let's do, we're almost done, gap of 2. Okay, almost there. Let's do a padding of 2 to give it some space. Let's go ahead and add one last column, and then we'll be done for today. Let's make this a icon, and let's make it a chevron right. So chevron right, and then let's give that an anchor. Let's relink href to href. It doesn't even matter because it's still in the same place. Give it a chevron right. Let's give it a padding of 2. Let's give it a padding. Padding 2, padding right 4. And okay, and there we go. We got our first item inside of our portfolio, and when we click on it, it's going to send us to the project stage. But we don't have that just yet. So once again, thank you all for joining me today for building your portfolio using Next.js. Sorry about going over by a few minutes, but so far today, we've shown y'all how to, or I guess we've all worked together on setting up Shadcn UI, setting up our Next.js project, and basically from there, scaffolding things up and learning a little bit about the cool quirks that come with Shadcn UI, as well as how to apply it and build our own components. So as far as content that we have covered today, we have created our navbar that is all ready to be routed. We have also created our first sections section card thing, as well as our like cards that we can use inside of the sections. And from this, we can easily expand this and start knocking some stuff off our to-do list for the project section, the experience section, and the education section. So we can get all of that done simply. I'll also, tomorrow we're going to be going over how to actually have a unique page with all of this data using Next.js to have it all routed really nicely. And then we'll finish it up with just some nice styling details. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this as much as I have. Please join me tomorrow. I guess we'll look at the global hacking schedule together real quick. Join me tomorrow. And one second. Oh, why doesn't it show? Oh, does it show for anyone else? Where's the schedule? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, join me tomorrow, day 3. Same time, building your portfolio with Next.js Part 2. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to finish this up. And for everyone that has stuck around coding, I might release my code, might not release my code. So you'll see if you join us tomorrow and building along. So yeah, and we'll also be deploying it with Defang. So we're going to work together, figure that out, and get that working. So yeah, if you all enjoyed this, please don't forget to, I guess the sign-in is closed right now, but I really appreciate y'all staying with me. And yeah, see y'all tomorrow. All right. Peace.